The Owen United Kangas report. Got Scotty Grigg with us. Hey, Scotty, how are you?
Good, Flo man, yourself?
Real good. Now, that other bloke, Andrew Wilson, we got him back for a week. We actually found him somewhere out in the Cow Plains, I think they call it out there near Larry Perkins' area. But he's gone again. As soon as we got him back, he escaped our clutches and he's somewhere on the Gold Coast sunning himself.
Yeah, he's not bad. Once he's finished his farming duties, he's a bit of a jet setter.
Jet setting away, but we've got you, the coach, and you would be very happy as the coach because you're showing some form right now. And at Blackburn Park in the Cure Cup, it comes back again to the Owen United Kangas. I don't think have lost the Cure Cup. It's been a magnificent win as you took them on and you beat them 7-15, 57 to 3-8, 26 in a low-scoring defensive dour affair.
Yeah, it was low scoring, probably due to the inaccuracy. In the third quarter, we kicked 5 points, could have well been 4 goals won, so that was a bit of error on our side. But yeah, it was really good to win the Tony Cure Cup. You're right, it's been going for 10 years, and OUN have won it every year, and it was actually the last year that they're going to have it this year, so it meant a lot, not just to the Cure family, but to the whole club and the whole community to be able to maintain it for 10 years, and being the last one, it'll reside in the OUN club rooms forever now.
No, beautifully done, and well done to everyone involved. Having a look at the quarter by quarter, you were well in control. You didn't let them kick a goal in the first half, so your defence must be very highly rated in that regard. And I know that it's very well led back there in the defensive unit with Dean Jardine in your side, but there are a number of other very unsung heroes in your defensive unit.
Yeah, our half-back line's playing really good, strong, defense first, but they're creating a lot of run from behind for us in Dallas Willsmore, Jamal Daly and Alex Morris.
Yeah, good form at the moment. Timmy Gloucester too is shutting down the best forward every week in a great fashion. Sam Mead was your best player. He's the only bloke that got multiple goals for the day. He got 3 of them. Yeah,
we changed his role in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and he's playing as a permanent forward, and he's really saving his energy and making it count and executing when it matters.
Yeah, certainly is. Let's have a look at the other senior matches before we come back to the Owen United Kangas reserves and juniors, because the other seniors, Robinvale, 30 goals, 200 over South Mildura, 4-8-32. Gee, that's a cricket score, isn't it? They got to the 200.
Yeah, they did, and South Mildura, a few, 3 or 4 of their recruits that were only here for a 6 or 7 week period because they were doing some medical studies have returned to sales, so it's left a big hole in their team.
It hasn't it just? What about Wentworth, 12 over, Merbeen 12-10. Gee, Merbeen, they've got real close, but they just can't seem to win a match at the moment.
Yeah, they're still pretty fit, and they are playing in a lot of close games, so for their sake, hopefully some of them turn their way in the coming weeks. But that's a great win for Wentworth because they've got some quality outs at the moment.
They certainly have. Sam Kerridge led the way with Mildura 21-15 over Imps 11-2, and Matthews with 8 goals. They were just irresistible, Mildura.
Yeah, once again, they play a strong defensive brand of footy, and they've got some senior, older fellas really standing up in Ant Matthews and Lando. So, they're going along all right.
They certainly are. The twos at Owen United. What about this effort? 8-9 to Redcliffe's 6 goals, 5. They came out with something to do and they got it done, including Andrew Jardine, the legend of the club. And he booted 5 goals and he was instrumental in their win.
Yeah, they're doing really well there, considering the age demographic from 16 through to 39, and Todd keeps putting together a competitive team on a weekly basis with a lot of magnets changing, and they seriously could have won their last 5. They've won 3 of their last 5. They went down in a close one to South Mildura and also a close one to Robinvale, and both games could have gone either way. They were in front at one stage in the last quarter.
Yeah. The Owen United under-14s played some great football too. It's with regard to the scores, it's always hard to work these ones out because of the nature of how the league interprets their performances. But I did see that for Owen United, Corbin Copeman kicked 3, Harry Scott got a couple, Finn Brown, Adam Grace, William Shattock and Kai Weathers all got on the score sheet, and Ryan Peterson's been a star for this age group.
Yeah, so James is doing a lot of structural work with the boys, and it's really starting to click for them. I watch them on Thursday night and go out on the ground between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock and listen to what he's telling them and make sure they're listening to his instructions, and they're really starting to execute it. And to be honest, even though we have got some 15-year-olds playing in there, those 15-year-olds are still developing and very young in their football lives, and we haven't got, none of them are superstars that really determine whether they win or not. So they continue to deliver on a team-based brand of footy.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Jackson Milne, Christy Higgins, she's real good. Roy Grayling and Calais McKenzie and Adam Grace. That Grace name still is synonymous with the Oyen region. Let's have a look at round 9 football. And there's some beauties. Irimple play Merbane at Henshallwood in senior football. And the Swallows, can they swallow up those bigger Magpies?
Yeah, I think they will. I think just their high-quality players will be too hard to maintain in Nick Mee and Dan Coughlin, and I think Irimple will get the chocolates there.
What about Redcliffs? They were good last week for periods in the second half particularly, but you were able to hold them in a defensive way. I don't think South have got the same defence that you've got, and I think Redcliffs will win this at Quandong Park.
Yeah, well, I think I tipped them 2 weeks ago against Mildura at home. They play the ground well. They're a very even team. They don't rely on one or two. They get an even spread of effort, and I think they'll have their measure there.
This is a game of the round for mine. Wentworth taking on Mildura at George Gordon. This is a game where Wentworth, with less of their forward line, as we've heard about Brander's injury, this is important for them. They've got to beat Mildura, but Mildura are in such good form, and I've tipped the D's to beat the Kangaroos.
Yeah, I think Mildura will get over them as well, just without Brander there and the ruckman overseas. I think Mildura will win.
Yeah, that's a biggie. Now we get to your matches, and your fellas travel up to Brian Waitman Oval. They're at the City Oval, Mildura 2. This is a big game for you. You can't drop a match from here against any side that's around where you are on the table. You've got to beat Imperials, and you need some percentage. Can you get it done this weekend, Coach Scotty Gregg?
Oh, we can definitely get it done. We've got another 3 players back last week. It really made a difference getting 6 senior players back into the squad last week. It just straightened us up with some key forwards and just enables us to do what we've been doing well for longer periods of time. We've still got a long way to go. Yes, every game that comes up from now on in, it's not a must-win, but we need to be winning those games if we really want to end up where we think we still believe we can on the ladder. So imps at imps, we'll be digging in hard and making sure we come away with the 4 points.
You need to. Benny Mole and that back line, he's very good. This Travis Parsons comes to you too. He's a local that's come to town to play, or to teach, I think, if I'm right there, out of the Central Highlands. So he'll add something to your side.
Yeah, so he's missed the last 2 or 3 weeks with a bit of bone bruising. So, yeah, he played in the Central Highlands there last year where he kicked 40-plus goals. His brother is an existing teacher. He's been teaching at the Oyen school there for a couple of years now, and Trav's come along and joined his brother teaching there under Phil Kewer's tutelage.
Oh, lovely stuff. Benny Mole, I should say, centre half forward. Sam Mead comes out of that forward line, goes into the middle again with Reid Stevens and Big Andre. Should get first use to the ball there and get it down to Dallas Wilsbore and Joel Monaghan, James Morris on the wings. Looks a good side here. Timmy Gloucester and Keegan Keeley in that back line. Keegan Keeley back into the side.
Yeah, he missed last week with work. He works over in New South Wales with New South Wales version of Power Core, and unfortunately he couldn't play, but his previous 2 or 3 weeks, he's really taken some positive strides forward and played some really good attacking football from the back line. And, he comes straight back in after a week off. Trav Parsons is back from some bone bruising, and Kane Stevens had a wedding in Melbourne.
Yeah, and that puts some good players down into your reserves, which means that you're at 6th place, and a win here puts you right in touch with the top 4 at the reserve grade. Imperials are on the bottom. I think the boys can get the job done here.
Yeah, they've got a good competitive group together again tomorrow. There's some real young fellas that are really stepping up and taking the challenge of playing senior football, even though some of them are still 16 and 17. We're playing the first gamer in Billy Katnack. He's been really consistent at reserve level, and his training frequencies are up where they need to be, and he's been rewarded with a senior game tomorrow as well, because we want to continue to blood those kids because they're the future of the club.
Oh, that's great to hear. I remember when Billy was in under 14 football and calling out his name many times. So well done, young Billy, on that. And talking about the 14s, I think your blokes, I know that they probably will, when they put the score up, it'll confuse a lot of us. But at the end, I reckon that they'll kick more goals on the day and play a winning game to beat the boys from Imperials.
Yeah, and once again, they trained really well last night, the under-14s. They're a good group of kids that listen. The coach wasn't able to attend training, so they had a couple of foreign voices, and they paid 100% attention and trained well. So yeah, they'll continue to be competitive and get more competitive as the season goes on.
Who were the blokes that gave them a bit of a shout out? A couple of good voices from around the club?
Yeah, the under-12 coach just stood up and led his assistant take the under-12s, and I'm not sure the other fella's name, but yeah, they did a really good job, and it's good for the boys to have a different voice every now and then just to spark their attention span.
Yeah, great stuff. Oh, it's going to be a big weekend for your blokes, and so great to have you on board, Griggy, the coach of the Owen United Kangas. A massive game for your team each week in, week out, but great to see some good players coming back after injury and get some balance back for the season, and easy for you to come on the radio too. And we look forward to it when that farmer from Underbull gets himself off of the sunshine of the Gold Coast. We'll get him back one day, won't we, Griggy?
Yeah, I hope so. But he did. I know he packed the reef oil, so he'll be up there tanning himself up.
I reckon he'll be looking pretty tan before he comes home to get on the sprayer again on the farm. Good stuff, Griggy. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for your time, mate.